Hey, it's Wednesday afternoon. That means it's time for Helping Seniors of Brevard with our wonderful executive director and host of our show, Kerry Fink. Hi, Kerry.
Hey, Jim. Thank you. Thank you. It's always great to gather around the radio at lunchtime. Every Wednesday, we do that right here on 90.3 FM WEJF and online at WEJF.net. And then, of course, we'd love to welcome you if you are catching this as a podcast, as a growing number of folks do in today's modern kind of technology world. In fact, people will find our podcasts and our TV shows and radio shows and everything, every place from Helping Seniors of Brevard. .org. That's the website. You can also check us out on Facebook at Helping Seniors Brevard, on the YouTube channel. A lot of people go there too, Helping Seniors Brevard, and you can find us on Twitter, LinkedIn. But a lot of people like to just catch us as a podcast, every place from Apple iTunes to Amazon Music to iHeartRadio, Spotify, you name it. Good pods, we're there. The reason is people will take a show like today's show and say, oh, this is great. I want to share it with Bob when Bob gets home or something like that. And then you can share that link and everybody can get in on the fun. And we are going to have a lot of fun on today's radio show because as I like to often explain, you know, they use that line, it takes a village to raise kids. That's an expression meaning that all of us need to get together and do the right thing for our kids so that they can have an awesome future. And we, in kind of the other end of the spectrum, taking care of seniors, have kind of adopted that same way of thinking. It really does take a village to do the right thing and make sure seniors get the honor, the respect, and the quality of life that they really do enjoy. And so I'm so excited about today's show because we have a couple of really great people who, like us, subscribe to that way of thinking. We're all working together diligently to make life better for our seniors. And I want to start with introducing the folks who are going to be on the radio us today, because this is really going to be a good show where you're going to get to hopefully get near someplace where you can jot down some dates, because we're going to talk about some fun things that are coming up. And I love the price of these because it won't affect your bank book at all, because everything we're going to talk about today is FREE, free, and it's a wonderful, you're going to get so much value. Like the little commercials say, it's actually, even though it's free, it's really going to be priceless because you're going to enjoy so much about what we're going to talk about today. But one of the folks that we've really enjoyed getting to know, really great friend of the Helping Seniors organization, and has done so much to help us now just in the past year with a lot of the programs that we try to do locally, because they have all the power and ability to do things on a national level. And so when we take national expertise, combine it with local caring and passion, you just get a great result. And we're already seeing it day after day. We just finished up a great scam jam that we held together at Glenbrook last Friday. And so with that, I would love to welcome to the broadcast Yazmin Alfonso, who is the Associate State Director for AARP. How are you today, Yazmin?
I'm doing great, Kerry. Thank you.
I'm so glad that you're able to make the time and join us, because I'm excited about a number of events that are coming up. We have so many good things. Like I just mentioned, we just finished up Scam Jam in Palm Bay at Glenbrook. And that has become a program that we worked on together last year, and it's expanding this year. We're going to move it around the county again in 2026. Later on this year, we're going to be in Vieira. We're going to be down in Barefoot Bay. We're going to be up in Titusville. And the idea is to try to keep our seniors safe from scams. And as you may be aware, AARP is like the leader in trying to do this nationally. They have a whole division called the AARP Fraud Watch Network, and there's so much in all that. But before we dive too far into that, I want to make sure we also introduce our other great friend who we've really been like putting our heads together and saying, how can we do more for seniors in Brevard? And nobody has really done more, I think, in many ways for seniors in Brevard than our friends at One Senior Place. And we have the privilege of having with us today Angie Higgins, who is the executive director for everything that happens at that wonderful facility right there in Vieira. How are you today, Angie?
I'm doing great. Thanks, Kerry.
Yeah. So, I'm excited because I know we're going to talk about three very specific events that are going to be coming up at One Senior Place, in addition to all the different things that we're already working on together on so many levels. But I want to maybe start, if it's okay, let me back the train up a minute. And because I really wanted to talk with Yazmin just for a moment to give some perspective on this, because Yazmin, one of the things is when we live in Brevard County, oftentimes big organizations, big companies, they just assume that those of us in Brevard are part of Orlando. Okay, medical things are available in Orlando, this resources in Orlando. And sure, we'll go to the airport in Orlando. Sometimes we'll probably take grandkids to Disney World or something like that. But we really live here in Brevard County. And one of the things that's been so exceptional about what you've been doing through AARP is really bringing good quality programs right here where we live and work in Brevard County. And I just wanted to kind of give you a moment to let you introduce all the good things AARP is doing in our county.
Absolutely. It's been such a pleasure to be in this role at AARP. As Kerry said, I'm the Associate State Director of Outreach and Engagement for AARP Orlando. That doesn't mean it's only Orlando. I cover Osceola, Orange, Brevard, Indian River, Lake County, and Seminole. So it's quite a bit of territory to cover. What that means is AARP, in addition to its membership, we have state offices, and within those state offices, we have territories where we get funding and opportunity to bring community events right to you, where you're at. Not just to our members, but just to community seniors in general. So that is a wide range of events we bring all over to different counties. We have over 85 volunteers that help us to be able to support these efforts. Anything from Walk with the Dog to Scam Jam, Shred events, to salsa events, to music events, and much, much more. So our goal is just to reach the community where they're at. So we are able to support efforts and help our seniors to keep aging in excellence.
That's so well said. And, the fun thing for me as somebody who's really dedicated, just like you, both of you are, to making the quality of life the best it can be for our seniors here in Brevard, is the fact that the more I get involved and learn from you about all the different things that AARP does and means, I keep finding all these new facets. I mean, most people know how strong, like last year together, we worked on a program where you were doing actually volunteer training right here in Brevard County. And you had a whole class full of people who were getting instructed on volunteering. And it was really amazing to get a sense of the scope of how strongly you guys are advocating for seniors. First of all, many people are aware of the national advocacy, but I don't think many of us really understand how effective and how important what you guys do. You make trips to Tallahassee. There's all these things that happen on just the level to make sure that senior voices are being heard. Yazmin?
Absolutely. So we have advocacy volunteers that get trained in terms of representing specific 50-plus senior issues that are facing in the state legislative sessions are right now. If you're not familiar, that's happening already in the state of Florida, in our capital, in Tallahassee. So AARP has volunteers that have been trained in this and that go to the state capitol and advocate for different issue areas, whether that be a legislation up like cryptocurrency or nursing home neglect, or anything of those issues that are being brought to our Florida state legislators. AARP is watching every single one of those bills. Anything that is coming out that impacts the senior community, AARP is advocating for or against, depending on where it falls. And we have our volunteers out there all in these red AARP polos, out there making a difference, showing up and making sure those senior voices are being heard.
And I love one of the things that I got as a takeaway when you guys did that class, and I was so glad to be able to be part of it, was that I think sometimes people get an idea that AARP is a political organization, meaning that it's on one side of the aisle or the other. But what I really walked away with was an understanding that, and I love how I think Jeff Johnson, I had the privilege of doing an interview with State Director Jeff Johnson here recently, and he said, Kerry, AARP doesn't we don't donate money to candidates. We are for the seniors. And a lot of people don't really understand how I guess I would say impartial on that side you guys are, but you're very partial to making sure the right things are happening for our seniors in the legislation that's coming down.
Yeah, absolutely. So we are continue and have always been a bipartisan organization. We don't focus on party, we focus on issue area.
Yes.
So the issue area has to be helpful to our senior community. So it could be anything from asking utility companies not to raise our prices, right? That impacts everybody, not just seniors, but especially seniors that are on a fixed income. So there are a lot of issues that AARP is advocating for we want to be out there and making sure those voices are heard and that they know the trials and tribulations and the limitations that the 50 plus community has, and making sure that those things are heard on the legislative level. And we also have a Capitol and a DC team that's much, much larger that advocates on the federal level as well.
You know, I was smiling. Yazmin Alfonso, who's the associate state director with AARP, was just speaking, and Angie Higgins with One Senior Place. I was smiling because one of our mutual friends, board certified elder law attorney Bill Johnson, he always guests with me on Helping Seniors Radio, usually the first month, and this time of year we always sit down and we do a program specifically about what's going on legislative in Tallahassee, because as an elder law attorney and actually somebody who actually chaired the whole elder law division of the Bar Association for a period of time, he's very, very invested in keeping an eye and trying to make sure that all of that is moving in a direction that's positive for our seniors. And Angie, it's interesting because little changes up there can make a whole lot of difference for our seniors.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. So, but then, Yazmin, back to you to kind of ask for just a second. That's just one aspect of what you do. And then last year, we keep getting inundated on our Helping Seniors call line we get calls from people who are scammed or asking us if there's a scam. And this is another area that AARP has been so focused on. You have the whole AARP Fraud Watch Network. I know when I get the magazine every month in our mailbox, I can read through it, and you guys are always like straight on top of what's going on. And so even when we do the Scam Jam, like we did on Friday, Karen Civitate, who is our Brevard area lead volunteer, she always does a great presentation that comes directly from the data that's collected by AARP and then shares that with us. But it's taking all the resources and everything that you guys have studied and found out nationally too on the scam side.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have multiple different resources and information on anything regarding scam. We have a huge federal team in DC that's constantly watching all of these scam and working with the Department of Justice and other federal agencies to constantly learn about the newest scams so we can continue to update the 50 plus community. And we do these fraud prevention presentations, everything from AI, understanding, different types of scams like romance scams, sweepstakes scams, etc. And we are able to have a team of volunteers who are giving these presentations out in community as well. We want our 50 plus community to be aware of what is happening and the latest in these trends. Given Florida, that has a large senior population, we are constantly inundated with new scams. So it's a lot to keep up with. So we really want to make sure that our community knows that they can go to the AARP Fraud Watch website and they can see all the latest scams. We have updates on there every single day on what's happening, depending on your area. We have a podcast. We have so much more on there talking about what's happening in terms of scams, but they're not going to stop. So we just want to keep people informed.
It's so important. In fact, as we go through the year, I want everybody to really stay connected to everything we're talking about here. If you're not a member of AARP, please become a member of AARP. If you're not directly connected to One Senior Place, please take advantage. They have so many resources. I can't even begin to speak to what a leadership role they do in terms of helping seniors figure out correct next steps. And then, of course, as a charity from our side, we're always happy to do everything that's going to benefit seniors. So among other things, there's a date that's coming up in August. You'll hear more about it later, but ARP is actually bringing in one of the head experts from Senior Planet, which is like a division where they're really focused. We'll talk more about all of that later, but they're actually bringing in one of the head guys, Daryl Greer, who's going to be speaking to us about what ARP is tracking on these AI things. And so there's just so much value to this whole association that is helping seniors stay safe and stay spoken for, as I guess another way. But also, there's a whole lot of fun to all of this, Jasmine, and I want to kind of move into that side of it now. Like last year, we all got together. Angie, you from One Senior Place, we from the Helping Seniors side, and then really we were just following up under all the fun leadership that you had provided with a couple of really great senior appreciation events. And I'm so excited that that's coming up again for us actually fairly soon. I think if I have the date right, it's May 13th, and we are going to be on site at One Senior Place. So maybe Jasmine, first explain a little bit about that, and then Angie, I would ask you to kind of follow up and talk about it from the One Senior Place side.
Yeah, absolutely. So for the past 2 years, we have had senior appreciation events in the Brevard County area, specifically in Melbourne. And what we've done is brought in community partners to help table this event. We've always had live music. We always have food at all of our events for seniors. So if that always piques your interest, always free food for us, delicious food. And we had entertainment, we had raffles. We've been doing this for the past 2 years outside of a local restaurant in Melbourne. But now, thanks to One Senior Place, we're going to be able to host it indoors because you never know Florida's weather. So we're excited to have it indoors this year and continue to bring that excitement. The purpose is for seniors to come to a free event, grab lunch, see a bunch of the organizations that are supporting different efforts, and grab some great stuff, hear some live music, and just have a good time together. It's just our way of saying thank you.
Yeah, so well said. Angie, and you guys are the experts at hosting events. You guys, I mean, you do so many things between educational events, fun events, social events. You guys are like the best of the best at this. So it's so exciting. This is going to be at One Senior Place.
Yeah, thank you, Kerry. Yep, One Senior Place. We're here. We're getting ready to celebrate 20 years, 20-year anniversary of really being a hub for the senior community here in Brevard, with all our trusted local resources all under one roof. So we're super excited to be able to partner with you both on such a great event. We know our seniors truly enjoy it, and we're gonna add our little, a little touch to it. So we will have so many vendors that you'll be able to visit and gather information, education, and goodies from, as well as, like Jasmine said, just great food and a good time, live music, and we'll be indoors. We'll be in the air condition, as we all know we need here in Florida in May. So we are very excited.
This is so true. I wanna be sure, because so many people are moving to Florida. I want to be sure people know about One Senior Place. It is this amazing resource right there on Spyglass Hill Road in Vieira. So you are like in the perfect location. You're center county, and seniors have
Mhm.
really come to depend on you for so many things. They need information about things. You have great services in there. Talk a little bit about just if you met somebody and they say, "Hey, I just moved here from, I don't know, Massachusetts, and I'm just getting my sea legs." How do you explain One Senior Place and all the different variety of things that are available to seniors? And again, they're all for free. You know, people can come and access all this, and it's a great learning opportunity for them.
Yeah, absolutely. So we typically, depending on obviously the person's personal situation, we just kind of explain how we've provided services to Brevard County over the past 20 years. We
Uh-huh.
have been that trusted local resource for all older adults as well as caregivers and their families, so they can easily find help, guidance, and answers and things like that, all in one space where they know, with our experience here in Brevard County, our we can be trusted, right? It keeps them off of Google. It keeps them off of, hopefully vetted scams and things like that. And try to take some of that overwhelming feeling from them. So, I mean, we do on any given day, we host different educational seminars, support services, and things like that, where they can kind of get the education and stay connected. But then we also offer a free consultation. So typically, we can give as much broad information as they'd like. They're welcome to come learn any day, but we'd love to sit down and hear your story. What's going on? What's ideal for you? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Let us help you navigate that. What's your diagnosis? What's your financial, your family dynamics, all the things. So some answers are different for obviously all answers are different providing the person. So we just like to really sit down, hear your story, and kind of point you in the right direction of some of these resources that are in Brevard County that you more than likely had no idea were there, or that you might need them. So we just try to, avoid you from hitting that pothole and kind of keep you as independent and safe in your ideal situation for as long as possible.
Yeah, you said that so perfectly because, for all the years of helping seniors, one of the reasons that Joe Steckler was the guy who founded our organization, he really wanted an organization after he'd built up the Brevard Alzheimer's Foundation. He said, because seniors really need help figuring out stuff. Many seniors do have those memory challenges, but he said every senior is going to run into stuff that they're hitting for the first time, and they need somebody that can help them navigate and understand. And that's the expertise that you really bring to the table, not only you, but everybody who partners in there. Like I'm excited. I just saw an event that is that you've been holding together with Ruth Rhodes, who's a board certified elder law attorney. The firm is called Rhodes Law, and they're doing like an education series that's literally getting you equipped week after week on the things that you need to know about as a senior to make sure that things are going the right way for you. And it's a great chance, if you sit down with an attorney, there's hourly billing and all those kind of things, but here's your chance to go to school for free.
Literally, yeah. Rhodes Law is actually, they're hosting, I want to say their very first class started today.
Yep.
And we had a room full there in our building, and it's really, they're calling it an academy. It's
Yeah.
fantastic. They are going to cover all the legal education that you'll need as you age here in Brevard County, and they stay on top of all the changes, and they're just very knowledgeable. They bring it down to earth so we can all understand what they're saying, which we always struggle with. You sit with an attorney for 3 hours, you walk out and you say, "What just happened?" So it's fantastic the way that, the educational seminars, not only by Ruth, but by any of our other care managers and things like that, they kind of bring it down so we can understand what they're saying and get some clarity and really plan our next steps.
Yeah, and I love how it covers all sections. You're able to do
Of
things that
course.
are
Yeah.
that I would call kind of like serious. Like when we talk about legal aspects or things like that. Then you have all these things that you make the place available for you help a lot of businesses stay networked on things too. Like if they're caring about seniors, you'll do networking opportunities, but you also do a lot of sessions that are just fun and social. So like we're talking about upcoming the May 13th event that we get the privilege of all working together on, the Senior Appreciation Day. But you do a lot of these, you do so many things like week in, week out that are just great social activities that are fun times for seniors to get together and just have a good time out at one senior place too.
Oh, yes, definitely. So we're constantly, obviously, our goal is to educate and help our seniors in the county. But we need some fun. Our seniors, just as important it is to have your advanced directives, in order. It's very important to be social and come out of the house a little bit and, keep yourself busy and engaged and moving. It's just as important. So we host so many fun events. We have a special event coming up just for our veterans and families, where it's just a day to honor our veterans on February 27th in our building. And it's makes it enjoyable, and at the same time, guess what, we're still going to educate them, and we're still going to provide them with the resources that we know they need. So
No,
we
it's
love
great.
what we do.
It's great. We're talking with Angie Higgins with One Senior Place and also Yazmin Alfonso with AARP. And we're going to come back because there's some dates you're definitely going to get on your calendar. So make sure you stick with us for the second half of Helping Seniors Radio. We'll be right back.
Hey, it's time now for the second half of Helping Seniors of Brevard with our wonderful host, Kerry Fink, and his two very special guests. Kerry?
Yeah, thanks, Jim. It is always great to be here on the radio Wednesdays. We just enjoy a lunchtime gathering, and thanks for tuning in right here on 90.3 FM WEJF and online at WEJF.net. And so, yes, to Jim's point, we've been having a great conversation with Yazmin Alfonso, who is the Associate State Director, covers everything in the Orlando area, but very specifically has become a great friend of everything that seniors, we are all trying to do collectively for seniors here in Brevard County. And AARP has really invested a lot of time and attention into helping us collectively do our work of taking care of seniors. When I say collectively, I'm also referring to another great friend of the Helping Seniors organization. Her name is Angie Higgins, and she is the executive director with the very well-known, very respected One Senior Place, which is just a great destination for all things senior. And, you know, guys, first of all, welcome back to the show.
Thank you, Kerry.
Yes, Kerry, welcome. Thank you.
Thanks. And we were talking just before we got into the break about how we always joke it takes a village to take care of our seniors. And that's why we talked about some of the serious things that we're able to work and partner with AARP on, which has to do with advocacy for seniors. And we talked about serious topics such as also how AARP works on preventing fraud and things like that, and trying to make sure we're keeping our seniors safe, and how we've partnered up on that. But one of the fun things we got to talk about was that you want to get this date on your calendar again, May 13th from 11 to 1, because that is actually, I think that's probably the third senior appreciation event. The first one for this year, but you guys brought this event to life last year, and everybody who attended it had such a great time. I think the last one we did was in Palm Bay, and there was like 140 people or something incredible out there. But it's a great opportunity. Yazmin, talk a little bit about the senior appreciation event.
Yeah, absolutely. Our senior appreciation events are just super fun events where we have a bunch of community partners come in to table, providing seniors with great resources. We have live music. We had a great saxophone player last year. We always do raffles, different gift cards. So almost everybody can be a winner. We also have different types of entertainment. We had a stilt walker previously. And then, of course, we have great food. So the purpose is really just to say, bring seniors out, introduce them to who we are, and for them to just have a good time. So whether you're just, want a free lunch, or if you just want to listen to some music, or understand the other senior organizations and great supports that are in your community, it's going to be a fun time.
It really is great. And one of the things when we do surveys about senior needs locally, I'm always surprised how much the request for increased social activities for seniors comes up. We always think if you ask a senior, what are the things you need? And there'll usually be something that, they have a question, and maybe it's financial, maybe it's medical, maybe it's legal or things like that. But a lot of times they'll self-report and say, hey, listen, we're still interested in living. We want to do something fun and have a great activity. And really, Angie Higgins, who's the executive director of One Senior Place, you guys are no stranger to that. And so this is like the perfect opportunity. That all these great things all come together. The AARP Senior Appreciation Day all winds up right there at probably the best place to have it, period, is One Senior Place right there in Viera, Angie.
Yeah, absolutely. We've been involved in the past two that Yazmin and her team put on, and we thought they were fantastic events. And we're excited to be able to bring some of our touch to the event as far as the different resources and senior services that are in Brevard County. They're going to come out and support and engage and have fun as well.
Yeah, no, it's great. And you guys are so well known for that. We started talking just before the break, too, because it's so important that people know that you get this date. So, again, as you're jotting these things on your calendar, May 13th, you want to make sure that date is on your calendar for Senior Appreciation Day, One Senior Place. But there's an event, actually, we were talking about just coming up literally like next week. And that is such an important thing. You guys have taken a leadership role in that as well. And that is honoring our veterans as we do Veterans Appreciation Day. I think you call it Every Day is Veterans Day. Talk about that event.
It's actually scheduled for February 27th at 10 a.m. at One Senior Place on Spyglass Hill Road. We've been doing this. This is actually our ninth annual Every Day is Veterans Day event. And it's just a day to honor our veterans. We have the Space Coast Highlanders are out. We have the color guards will come out. We have a free lunch. And then we also have an entire vendor fair, and the vendor fair, which are tables that different organizations will set up with some of their resources and some good fun giveaways. All of the vendors are organizations that service veterans and their families here in Brevard County. So it's a great day for our veterans and families to come out and find out, what are my benefits? What am I entitled to? How can I get involved? Are there any volunteer opportunities? Just a whole plethora of information in one space, while also taking the day to honor our veterans and their families.
Yeah, we're so excited. I think we're slated to be out there, and we are just looking
You
forward
are.
to everything that helps a veteran is something important to us, because, when you see a vet, it's very important to thank them for their service, but it's more important to give them something that's really going to help them. And I know in our little role as a nonprofit, when we answer the County Senior Information Helpline, Angie, I'm amazed at how often we hear from seniors who are veterans. They ask us questions, and they're not even aware of some of the benefits and programs that could be very, very meaningful for them. And so it always makes us feel real good when we're able to introduce a veteran or connect them to something that's really going to make a difference for them. And, they have certainly paid the price, so it's wonderful that we get to introduce them to some of the benefits for their sacrifice on our behalf. And that's really, to me, kind of like the spirit of what you're doing with Every Day is Veterans Day anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. Because over the years, I mean, like I said, we're hitting our 20th anniversary in just 2 weeks here at One Senior Place Brevard. And
Wow.
over the years, we've learned, um, you don't know what you don't know, right? And
Right.
our seniors are not, they're not too internet savvy necessarily, right? We're getting better. We have tech classes, we're doing all the things. But they're not able to just kind of jump on the internet and find out what's out here for me, what can help me pay for this, who can help me navigate my benefits, and what am I entitled to? They're not really able to do that on their own. So it's our pleasure, honestly, our honor to have this event for them every year. And every year we have new organizations that are there, and it's a great day.
No, it's good. And that's not, like I said, I hope you're keeping a calendar this week. Now we got several dates to keep up, right? We've talked about May 13th as the date you definitely want to have on the calendar for the AARP Senior Appreciation Day. And then we were just talking about obviously getting this date on your calendar, Friday, February 27th, for Every Day is Veterans Day. I think that's 10 to 1:30 if I have my information right about when it's going to be. And it's just a great time. But there's actually several more things, Yazmin, that are coming up at One Senior Place as we go through the year. I know in July, I think the date is July 24th, there actually is going to be AARP is sponsoring and providing live music and lunch. That sounds like it's going to be a fun event too. You want to talk a little bit about what's coming up on that?
Yeah, exactly what you said. July 24th, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at One Senior Place. We're going to have live music, lunch. It's just an opportunity for seniors to hang out. Music is great for your brain health, and lunch is always great. So we're excited to host that event there as well. And then we also have an event coming up at One Senior Place on September 18th, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., where we're going to be hosting a fun dominoes tournament with them. So even if you've never played before, it will be a fun game to learn, have some live music, food, and then we'll have some trophies given out to the winners. So it will be a fun time as well, where we're just excited to partner with One Senior Place and just bring these fun community events over there.
Yeah, and both of you guys, I'm talking about AARP and also One Senior Place. You guys both do such great work, and you do it with such excellence. Every time that I've ever come out to an event that's been AARP driven, Karen Civitate, who is really kind of like, in my opinion, an unsung hero because she does so much she's the lead AARP volunteer here in Brevard. She leads the AARP 2622 chapter, which is one of the chapters that meets every month at here in Palm Bay, and those are always great events, good information. Everybody gathers, has lunch, but she does so much behind the scenes. And we were talking about really ARP. You guys get behind so many different things. Every time I've been to an ARP event, though, the information is always first and foremost. Like I just remember at the last ARP Senior Information Day, there was food, there was fun, but you made sure that there was so much good resources on the table for people to get information about all the ways that ARP can help. I know, Angie, you guys had a table out there. We had a table out there. Several other organizations were out there with us. And the whole point and spirit of the day was to get everybody together, have fun, but also send them home with good information, Yazmin.
Yes, absolutely. All of our events, and yes, we always have a good time and fun, but we also want to provide seniors with incredibly helpful resources and information at everything that we do. So anything from fraud prevention to Social Security information to brain health to the latest on what's happening in terms of the changes that are happening on legislatively. We try to provide all the updates that we possibly can and every resource we can and everything that we have so that seniors are well informed. So yes, we always have fun, but we also want to make sure that you're leaving with something informative as well.
Yeah, no, it's good. And Angie, I was going to say the same because you're another place that is really, you do it just everything with excellence. I mean, you guys have a great resource library there. I've been in there, and then you have like lots of information about every topic that might be interesting for seniors to learn about. You have great resources right there in the building with you. And then you're always doing programs that are both fun and educational for seniors. Again, I want you to share some of the stuff that's upcoming. Like we've talked about the AARP dates, but your calendar, like I always look in the back of Senior Scene magazine as an example, because I always want to see what are the events that are coming up at one senior place.
Oh, yes. So there is honestly probably a few events per day coming up over the next year. So we do have, I know on January 28th, which is here right around the corner at 10 a.m., we will have a brunch and learn. That would actually be, it's a panel setup. It's called our Power Health Hour, and it's 3 vital topics. It's 3 trusted professionals, and they have 20 minutes each to kind of educate us, and then they'll take some time for some questions and answers. But it's going to be about some memory and brain health. It's a little bit of estate planning and a little bit of healthy living and aging in place. So, and that also, as always, we love the word free. That comes with a free brunch, as well as educating, which is always our goal. But if we can feed our seniors, why not? And then we all, as always, we have so many support groups, and we have a book club and all those things in our building every month. They recur. But the first Wednesday of the month at 10 a.m., we have a wonderful, it's called Liberty Company Social Club for Veterans. And it is a room full of veterans. Every couple of months, we'll drop in a speaker that might have a resource that our veterans are not aware of, or might help them navigate something that they're dealing with. But really, if you can watch from the outside, it's just a room full of memories and laughs, and just it's really warms our heart to watch our veterans. They look forward to it. You know,
Yeah.
we've had donuts. I implemented some yogurt. They didn't love that, but you know, they love the donuts and coffee, of course. And that's always on the first Wednesday of the month at 10 a.m. And you don't have to RSVP, but I can guarantee you will leave there with a couple of friends. And then if I could just mention one more, because like I said,
Yeah.
there's at least 1 or 2 things going on every single day in one senior place. We do have, as we approach our Every Day is Veterans Day on February 27th,
Hmm.
we have a panel happening on February 10th at 10:30 a.m. We will provide brunch as well. But this is actually a panel of veteran resources. Our main panelist is Dr. Brandon Warmbecker. He is the Chief Medical Officer of the VA and Palm Bay Healthcare System.
Oh, wow.
Is a lot going on there. He has a lot to say. Lots of changes, lots of information, lots of good information for our veterans and their families. So we are extremely excited to have him on our panel, as well as our One Senior Place care manager, Lisa Peak, who will talk about navigating some of those benefits and things like that. We have the Space Coast Honor Flight will be there, National Cremations will be there. Just really a day to kind of zone in on some of those resources that you will meet at every day is Veterans Day. And that is on February 10th at 10:30 a.m. with brunch.
Yeah, you guys have so many things. Like I said, I always, whenever I get a new copy of Senior Scene magazine, I always kind of flip to the back because they're always publishing. And you guys have just a calendar chock full. If people want, well, but you also have a great website too, right? I mean, if somebody wants to like figure out how to access or check what's coming up, what's the best thing? Is it to go to the website, or what do you tell people the best way to figure it out is?
So you're welcome to do any. If you live local, stop in the building. We'll give you a tour. We'll
Yeah.
show you around. It's our senior mall. That's what we call it. And we're
Love
at
it.
8085 Spyglass Hill Road in Vieira. Or you're welcome to jump on our website, oneseniorplace.com. You'll see we have a full event calendar there. It's made super easy where you click on an event and you say, I want to go to that. You click the flyer and you RSVP for yourself.
Wow.
And then you're welcome to, at the bottom of our website, you can sign up to receive our emails. We do send out
Yeah.
a weekly email letting you know what's coming up at One Senior Place. Or obviously, at any point, you can give us a call if you have a question, you're trying to navigate something, you're just not sure, or you're worried for a neighbor. Give us a call. Our phone number is 321-751-6771, and anyone that answers the phone would be happy to help you.
Yeah, I'm talking with Angie Higgins, who's the executive director of One Senior Place right there in Vieira, and Yazmin Alfonso, who's the associate state director for AARP. We've talked about these important dates that we are so excited about coming up. We have the May 13th, the Senior Appreciation Lunch. We have July 24th, which is the lunch and live music and lunch event, and then September 18th we have the Domino's event. But that is just like scratching the surface, because a couple of my favorite things that we do each month together with our friends at AARP, one is the Walk with the Doc program that happens every second Friday of the month. So as this program, as we're talking about, we want you to get on your calendar. The next one that's coming up is actually going to be March 13th, but we meet up at Merritt Square Mall, and Lydia Rivera, who is a ARNP, leads the thing, and that is just a fun morning out, but with a lot of good purpose as well, Yazmin.
Yeah, absolutely. So AARP Orlando has actually 3 Walk with the Docs in different areas. Brevard is the second walk that we launched, and this year is going to be our second year with the Walk with the Doc series at Merritt Square Mall.
Right.
If you're not familiar with Walk with the Doc is a walking program for everyone that's interested in taking steps in a healthier lifestyle. You'll take a few minutes to learn a current health topic from Lydia Rivera, who's our healthcare professional, AARNP. Then spend the rest of the hour enjoying a walk indoors, which Florida weather, you never know. So that's really nice. Safe place indoors. It's a great way to get out, get active, enjoy all your benefits that come with walking. Connect with other people, which is really the important part. We always have new topics, resources, information that's available to you, but it's really just a fun way to connect with community and just walk with other people. So we really encourage everybody to come out. It's the second Friday of every month at 9 a.m. We provide waters, healthy snacks. So join us.
It's all good. It's all good stuff. We always have a great time. If you ever go, we always put the photos out on the Helping Seniors Facebook page, Helping Seniors Brevard. I invite you to go there, like and follow us along there, because we always try to make sure all of these events that we've been talking about, we always try to make sure that we get them spoken about so that people can make plans and join us, because what we find is a growing club. Every time you go to the doctor, what do they say? Well, you need to get out and you need to move more. And so we always make these plans that we need to do. But this is a really fun way, because I've noticed 3 things, Yazmin, that happens there. Number one, you're doing exactly what the doctor asked you to do, which is get out and move. And you're doing it in a climate controlled environment. So it's wonderful. The second thing, though, is you usually don't get enough time with the doctor. And I've literally watched this as people go walking around the mall, they'll catch up to Lydia and say, okay, well, I was in the doctor and this, and you can actually have a structured conversation for a few minutes while you're getting your exercise, because a lot of people just say, I just really can't get enough time because of the doctor's schedule to really get into depth. They told me this and I need to know more about it. So there's that aspect. But then the third thing, we're right back to the social aspect. It's become like a social club. Everybody loves to gather and go for that walk, Yazmin.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just a great way to get people together, and we love that. We've had so many people that have met friends this way through Walk with the Doc itself. We've gained volunteers from the experience. I mean, there's just such a connection and a way for people to just get out with each other. We have t-shirts, pedometers that you can get for free. We always raffle items off like water bottles and
Yep.
gift cards and much, much more. So it's just really a fun way to get seniors together in a really safe environment. And no better place to do it all together in one before the mall opens and just walk around, especially with how cold it's been in Florida. For those that are real Floridians, this is horrible. So the heat is on in the mall. So I encourage you to come out.
Yeah, no, it's a great time. And there's one other area I wanted to tag up on, because I know we get so many calls on this. And Angie Higgins with One Senior Place, I'm glad to hear that you guys are invested in this part of it too, because we get so many calls from seniors who are trying to navigate technology, right? So one of the challenges is, even if you're technology averse, your doctor wants you to check in for your next appointment on your smartphone. Oh, just download the app. Well, if you don't know what you're doing with your smartphone, it's kind of like, they're speaking Greek to me. And, they want you to see if your prescription's ready on your smartphone. For crying out loud, you can't even get on an airplane because they want you to check all that, to check in for your next flight using the app on the phone. So you got to get seniors technologically moving. And, what we've learned in the helping seniors world is quite often we end up being somebody's Google or internet or something, because they'll call us and say, well, I have to fill out this form. It has to be done online. I don't have a computer. I don't know how to do it. So one of the things we've really done that I'm excited about on the helping senior side is we're working with AARP, who has a great national program. It's called OATS, and I can't remember exactly the entire Older Americans technology. I remember parts of it.
Older adults technology.
You did it great. You did it better than I did. But they have a division called Senior Planet, and literally folks on our team are training right now. We're going through the classes because we're excited that we're going to be able to continue to expand what we're trying to do. We've done a program we started last year called Senior Tech Talks, where we're trying to get seniors more comfortable with their devices. And this is going to take it to a whole nother level, because Senior Planet has like 200 plus courses and things like that. And it's really going to give us an opportunity to serve our seniors better. And so I'm excited about that as well. But Angie, I hear you guys do computer classes. We always talk about the fact that we're a little bit over towards the river and that part of Melbourne. And so sometimes it's harder for people. It may be easier for people to get to one location than another. But I'm glad to hear you guys are also doing a lot of helping seniors get comfortable with technology as well.
Oh, absolutely. So it is, just before we host our scams, preventing scams event,
Uh-huh.
we go ahead and teach you how to get on the computer and
Yes.
how to use your phone and how to navigate those things. So we partner with a lot of local technology professionals and educators, and they come in and we start at the basics. How do I
Yeah.
send my daughter a picture? We really
Right.
start at the bottom, and we kind of just try to educate them. We have some seminars that we host that are just open Q&A. Come on in, and we'll bring your phone. Tell me your problem, and we will sit with you, and we will try to navigate that for you. And then we have also a class that's hosted actually every month. It is always the third Tuesday of the month at 5:30 in the evening, and they go over personalized issues with iPhones and iPads and things like that. So we're constantly adding things in the tech world to our calendar. It's very important. And my assistant director Jordan actually just sat on Monday with one of our adults, and I think she was in there about 45 minutes just trying to help her navigate her phone.
There you go.
And it was cute, but that's why we're there.
That's what we say. It takes a village. It takes all of us working together.
Absolutely.
I really want to thank you both, Angie Higgins, the Executive Director of One Senior Place, and Yazmin Alfonso, AARP Associate State Director. First of all, for everything you guys do for seniors in this county, you are both godsends to everyone within the sound of our voices, because we're just all trying to do everything we can to make lives better for seniors. And I really hope that we're going to see all of you listening today, May 13th, out 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. for the Senior Appreciation Day. And I hope also, as we were talking about, we'll see you here very soon for the Every Day is Veterans Day kind of thing. That's coming up here very soon. Well, that's the time we have for Helping Seniors Radio on today. Thank you for joining us. We will see you right back here next Wednesday, 90.3 FM, WEJF. Have a great week till then.